Hello, friends! The story that we'll talk about today has long been doing the rounds on the internet. Unfortunately, the names of the leading characters are known, but this doesn't change its main message, which should be heard by absolutely every one of us. Dear parents, you need to chip in for new curtains, new floor, boards, air conditioning, and new windows. And it doesn't matter that the windows were changed 6 months ago, you still have to chip in. You want your children to have the best of the best, don't you? Well then, chip in. This is how almost every parent-teacher meeting starts and ends. I think many people recognize this themselves. Tired moms and dads who are short of breath rush to the PTA meeting after work. Each time, they roll their eyes and dutifully hand over the money. But sometimes, there are cases when everyone refuses to chip in for another needs. And not in vain. Of course, all children should be equal, no one should stand out, so they aren't seen as different and then become victims of bullying. But alas, it happens that some compassionate moms forget about this, believing that their beloved children should have the best of the best and it doesn't matter how other children will feel. Well, this is what happened in one school. At one of the meetings, a group of young and pompous mothers offered to buy new desks, and parents with lower incomes replied that the old desks were still good enough for study, and besides, they couldn't afford the extra expenses right now. But alas, as is often the case, if a young and unsympathetic mother has an idea in her head, she won't give up on it. Well, and if there's a whole group of moms like this, then the end is predictable. In situations like this, it's better to hide so you don't get singled out if you don't agree with their opinion. As a result, out of 30 people, 7 families just couldn't afford the extra costs. But a group of mothers still insisted that the new desks were needed. As a result, out of 30 people, 7 families just couldn't afford the extra costs. But a group of mothers still insisted that the new desks were needed. A man who looked to be in his 40s silently sat on the back desk, looking at this discussion. He gave no sign that anything was bothering him. He just stared at what was happening. But when the discussion turned into a conflict, he stood up and suggested that those who have the opportunity to chip in a little more money to do it, so that all the children could sit at the same desk and no one would feel left out. But as you might expect, the moms who started all this mess said that this wasn't their problem, that someone, you see, doesn't have enough money for the new desk. If you don't have enough money, then get a second job, was a suggestion from somewhere in the middle of the classroom. The man who had suggested that the class shouldn't be divided into rich and poor only shrugged, but wasn't even going to argue or chip in the money. And after a couple of days, new and beautiful desks appeared in the classroom. They were placed first in the class so that the beauty was immediately visible, but they were only for the elite, or rather, for the children of those parents who could still afford it. 8 children looked enviously at the new desks of their classmates and tried to hold back tears, not understanding why they had to sit in the farthest corner. But the rich moms didn't stop with one purchase. All the old desks were moved to the far corner, and it ended up looking like it was a kind of pure community or place for the poor. Of course, the mothers didn't really care that their behavior deeply hurt the other children whose parents were so well off. They were only concerned about their own children who were now sitting in the best seats. But of course, they didn't miss the opportunity to take photos of the new desks, saying, "Son, sit down at the new desk I bought you. Let's send this photo to grandma." No one is against parental love and pride, but not pretentious behavior and ostentation. Alas, for these moms, their love is just the same and consists of these two concepts. But in the story, their triumph was short-lived. The very next day after the last class, 8 more brand new desks were delivered to the class, which were much better and more convenient compared to the rest. Also, the set included very cool chairs, special nooks, and many other advantages to the other desks. As it turned out, the same man who stood up for the poor children owned a small business. Of course, he didn't advertise his wealth, but he could easily afford these expenses. And a little later, it turned out that it was the first time he had attended one of these meetings. Usually, his wife went to them, but after what he saw and heard, he was, to put it mildly, surprised. He decided to clearly teach those parents who considered themselves better than others because of their wealth a lesson. But that wasn't the end of the story. What's most funny is that the moms who started all this fuss yelled about discrimination and that this was an insult to their kids, that this is pure provocation and now everyone should have the same desks. To which the man only briefly replied, "Well, you were the ones who wanted one group of children to have better desks than the others? That's exactly how it turned out." In fact, it's sad when parents use their children to assert themselves in the eyes of other adults. And the logical question is, what can they teach their children? What example did they show them since childhood? Friends, do you approve of a man's action? Write your opinion in the comments, give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and see you soon!